Alright, how's it going, Sampleheads? I am finally back from seeing both Tyler the Creator and The Weeknd live this last week. And with Tyler's newest album, Don't Tap the Glass, having been out for almost 2 weeks now, which, by the way, I got to see the live debut of at the Chromakopia tour, holy shit, it's of course time to break down every single sample across the record's 10 tracks. Despite the brevity though, Don't Tap the Glass does incorporate some really cool sample flips, genuinely putting it in contention for the best samples across any Tyler album. Of course, make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more sample breakdowns for new releases like this, and without further ado, let's just get started. Kicking us off, we have the opening track, Big Poe, featuring Skateboard, aka Pharrell Williams, admittedly one of my least favorite tracks on the album, but still, it features some pretty cool stuff sample-wise. Starting with the vocal chant in the intro, which comes from the 2015 track Rokid by Israeli musician Shai Ben Zur and Johnny Greenwood of Radiohead fame. And little fun fact here, the chant translated from Hebrew says dancing, dancing, dancing to God, which of course fits pretty well given the abundant dance influence this project has. We then get a drum loop taken from Gershon Kingsley's 1969 track Hey Hey, off of the amazingly titled record Music to Moog by.
I hate light-skinned niggas on my mama. I like dark-skinned bitches like my mama. I like light-skinned bitches.
And finally, there's some vocals from Busta Rhymes near the end of the song, which is lifted from his 2003 track featuring Pharrell and Diddy, Pass the Courvoisier Part 2.
Don't this shit make a nigga wanna Don't this hit make my people wanna Don't this shit make a nigga wanna Don't this shit make a nigga wanna Don't this shit make a nigga wanna
First it was Peggy and Danny Brown on Scaring the Hoes, and now Tyler. Why is Diddy forever inescapable in this series? Anyways, moving on to easily the worst track on the record, and it's not debatable, we've got Sugar on My Tongue. Alright, I am being a little bit hyperbolic here. The track is alright, but y'all, I'm sorry, I just don't get the hype for this one. It sounds like Temporary Secretary, and it unfortunately isn't really saved by its single sample, that being the fairly common siren sound effect from 1988's King of the Beats by Mantronics. Little spoiler as well, but we're going to be seeing this one come back a decent amount of times, so when it does, I'll make sure to quickly give it a mention as to not waste too much time. Now moving on to Mom and Em, as the real third track, Sucker Free, has no listed samples, we've only got one flip again, but this one has got to be one of my favorites across the project. The creeping synth line present throughout the song comes from the 1982 track Montajal by Gorilla at Kiev. And super unknown sample here as well. I checked and the sample artist has 290 monthly listeners. Crazy how Tyler managed to find it and flip it into such a hard build-up. Oh, and there's also technically an interpolation of the classic nursery rhyme Rain Rain Go Away in the pre-chorus.
Okay, that nigga gon' get clipped.
Next up, we have Stop Playing With Me, which we're going to cover for approximately 0.2 seconds, since its only sample is that same Mantronic Siren. Okay, and now finally back to some other cool sample flips, we get to Ring Ring Ring, probably my favorite track on the album, with potentially my favorite sample, and definitely my favorite story behind said sample. That absolutely luxurious instrumental is mostly comprised of a segment from the 1981 track All in the Way You Get Down by Ray Parker Jr. and his band Radio. And for those of you who don't remember the name Ray Parker Jr., he's actually the mind behind the legendary Ghostbusters theme song. Such an awesome connection here, and this flip just has the perfect groove to it. Really fits well with the overall sound Tyler was going for on Don't Tap the Glass. More of this, please. Getting to the last few tracks now, Tyler resumes his tradition of two-parters with Don't Tap That Glass / Tweakin', both of which feature some samples to break down. Starting of course with the first half, we have the biatch sound effect from Too Short's 1987 track Dope Fiend Beat.
49 still in the street like your prostate exam in a week like.
Pretty simple lift, but I do like when artists build some of their lyrics around the sample to make it seem like they're almost rapping with it. I remember Kanye used to do that in a ton of his songs. Although if you want a more modern example, I'd highly recommend the track Father by Jim Legacy, one of my favorites of this year. Moving on to a much more recent sample now though, you guys all remember that one isolated Baby Keem ad-lib on Like Him? Well, Tyler once again hid that sound in the background of this instrumental. And for reference, it comes from Keem's 2021 track Booman.
I'm sexy and blessed. Bring it back, you back it up, nigga, get a stack, spin a stack, you stack it up.
Now on to the tweakin' second half, we have a pretty nice drum loop from rapper Tommy Wright III's 1994 track Mecho Maker.
Mecho Maker, Mecho Maker, Mecho Maker, Mecho Maker.
Tweaking, bitch, I'm tweaking, bitch, I'm tweaking,
And closing us out, we've got who would have guessed, the Mantronic Siren.
Tripping, toes tied, call my mama, 4, 5, 6 nights at crib.
Don't worry though guys, we've only got one of those left to go over in this video. And it actually comes on track number 8 on this record, Don't You Worry Baby. Fortunately though, we move on to a way more interesting vocal sample present in the track's intro, coming from the 1995 track Let Me Ride by 12 Gauge.
Let me ride, pump and shake it, let me ride that kitty cat. Let me ride, pump and shake it, baby.
And I'll say, I'm overall pretty impressed with the vocal samples on here. Generally speaking, if I had to classify the most common type of Tyler samples, they'd be probably drum loops. So I think it's really cool he went more out of his comfort zone here. And I like how despite there being more samples of vocals as opposed to drums, they're still kind of used in a percussive context, in that they kind of provide a stable rhythm to follow within the song. Really fits the dancier sound again. Enough music theory yapping though, we're now at the penultimate track, and another heavy favorite of mine on Don't Tap the Glass, I'll Take Care of You. And fittingly enough, we start with yet another vocal loop that fully provides the groove of the track before the drums kick in, being from the 2006 Knuck If You Buck remix by Crime Mob.
Fucking with no hoes, ain't never been no lines, ain't never been no pussy niggas scared to throw them things, man. Fucking with no hoes, ain't never been no lines, man. Never been no pussy niggas scared.
After this though, we have a sample that genuinely almost made me tear up from the nostalgia. The same drums from Tyler's own infamous title track on Cherry Bomb. I saw a meme someone made of that scene in Ratatouille where the critic takes the bite of the meal and he's instantly transported back to a memory from childhood, and I have never seen something more accurate to how I feel about this sample. Considering how similar this new record is to Cherry Bomb in a lot of ways regarding Tyler's point in his career, it's a perfect callback to an era of Tyler that I for one am really nostalgic for at this point. And it's an amazing demonstration of just how much Tyler's evolved artistically speaking. Going from an honestly pretty terrible track in Cherry Bomb to something as good as I'll Take Care of You is insane. But with it out of the way now, we're left with our final sample on the last track, Tell Me What It Is, and I believe our only interpolation on Don't Tap the Glass as well. The line, Mama, I'm a millionaire, but I'm feeling like a bum, is interpolated from Andre 3000's verse on the 2004 track Millionaire by Khalees.
Mama, I'm a millionaire, but I feel like a bum.
Mama, I'm a millionaire, but I'm feeling like a bum.
Certainly nothing flashy, but it's a decent enough interpolation for the sentiment of Tell Me What It Is, a track I do admittedly find a little bit lackluster. But regardless, with that final sample, we have now covered every single sample on Tyler the Creator's Don't Tap the Glass. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel to see new uploads from me on Saturdays and sometimes Wednesdays unless I say otherwise in my community posts. Also, of course, leave a comment letting me know about any samples I might have missed or just your favorite sample across the ones we've covered today. And finally, as always, if you'd like to support the channel further, you can now become a member and receive early access to all my videos, as well as a special shout out from me at the end of them, as you will see on screen right now. So join up if you're interested, it really does help me out a lot. But yeah, that's about it. I'll see y'all for the next breakdown of Tyler's secret 10th studio album, Don't Slap That Ass. Alright, sorry, that one was terrible.